What do a ghost, a burrito, and inside out have in common? Yep, they're all techniques for putting on a duvet cover, but they're not equally fast or easy. I timed myself doing 5 methods multiple times, and while I found that the inside out technique is the fastest, some people might prefer the burrito roll method because it's a little bit less strenuous. So I'll show you exactly how to do both of those methods after a quick look at the other 3. Starting with the ghost technique, although it's kind of fun, you waste time searching for the ends of the duvet unless you have X-ray vision. And once you've found the ends, to get the cover over your head, you have to do a very silly vertical caterpillar wiggle thing. The second technique is the all-in, which is okay if you get it right, but the moment you realise you matched the wrong corners and have to start all over again is never a happy one. And there's only one good reason to do the third method, crawling inside the duvet, which is why I've named it the sock hunter. In my experience, the inside-out technique was the easiest and fastest way to put the duvet cover on. However, it does involve quite a lot of shaking, so if you prefer a more gentle method, skip this one and take a look at the burrito roll. As the name suggests, you need to start by turning your duvet cover inside out. The next step is to put your arms inside the duvet cover and find the far corners. Then with your hands inside the cover, grab the corners of one end of your duvet. Next comes the classic duvet shake to encourage the cover into place. If you have a thin duvet and an opening that goes from corner to corner, you might be able to get the cover all the way along by giving it a good shake. In my case, I have to stop and help the cover along a bit though, because I'm using a king-size winter duvet with an opening only in the centre of the cover. After some wafting and cover organising, you can turn the duvet back around so the opening is back at the foot of the bed again. Then a bit more wafting might be needed, or maybe matching those end corners again before finally shaking it nicely into place. The final technique is the burrito roll. Now some people describe this one as an easy hack, but personally I disagree. I find you end up walking around the bed a million times, well maybe not a million, but many times, which is why I've renamed it the toe stubber. However, it is a clever technique, and the good thing about it is that you don't need to lift and shake the duvet so much, so it's one for people who prefer a gentler method. Start by laying your duvet cover inside out on top of the bed with the opening at the foot. Then lie your duvet flat on top of the cover and make sure the corners and edges line up as neatly as possible. This is my first issue with the roll. It just feels like a big waste of time going round and round your bed lining it all up. And if you don't line it up nicely, it's harder to do the key flip step later, and the duvet can end up really out of place inside the cover. Anyway, when the duvet and cover are lined up, you start to roll the duvet from the far end towards the end with the opening. You don't need to roll it super tightly, but not too loosely either. Once again, you'll probably have to walk around the bed several times to make sure the roll is even, unless you have a small mattress size or Inspector Gadget arms. And yeah, watch out for those toes, especially if you have big feet like me and sharpish corners on your bed frame legs. Once the roll is finished, continue a little bit so the opening is visible again. Then put one arm inside and grab the corner of the duvet. I found it's easiest if you insert the arm that's furthest away from that corner. Then you need to grab that entire end of the roll and flip it out through the opening to reverse it. Personally, I find it's easiest if you also put the other hand in. Grab as much of the end as you can and pop it out towards you. But you can keep one hand out and pull the cover over instead if you find that easier. It's also important to keep all the material in the middle in place and tidy it between flipping each end, as well as after flipping the second end, otherwise the cover can get dragged down when you unroll it. Once you've done that, you can start rolling the duvet back towards the head of the bed. It might feel like it's not working at first, but it should unroll if you hold the end with one hand and roll the burrito away from you with the other. Unless you've done it absolutely perfectly, which in my experience is as likely as winning the lottery, you'll still have to walk around the bed a few more times to neaten it all up. But the good thing is you don't need to turn the duvet around at the end, and you should be able to get away with some gentle organising rather than trying to shake sand off a beach towel. In case you're still confused about the flip, here it is 2 more times. First with both hands going inside, which is my preferred method. And here it is again with one hand inside to hold the end and pull it, and the other first pushing the end a bit and then pulling the cover over the top. And there you go, some new ways for you to change your duvet cover. Let me know in the comments below if there's any that you feel inspired to try, or if there's any that you currently do, and if I've missed any as well, let me know. Thanks for watching, sleep well.